أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al-Ansar with myself, Faisal MJ Sulaiman. A UK health report has shown that half of young people in their 20s are at risk of vitamin B12 deficiency, which may be due to the rising trend in plant-based diets and could have serious health consequences. We have online with us Ms. Vanessa Ascencao, a nutritional consultant and health and wellness expert who really needs no introduction to the airwaves of Radio Al-Ansar. Ms. Ascencao, good morning to you and thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, I started the program by making a comment that a UK health report has shown that half of young people in their 20s are at risk of vitamin B12 deficiency, which may be due to the rising trend in plant-based diets and could have serious health consequences. Could you tell us a bit about the statement, please, Mr. Ascencao?
Yes, it's interesting because we are very aware that people are eating less animal products and they're definitely eating more plant-based, vegan lifestyles. And there's pros and cons to everything because obviously you want to eat humanely treated animals. For ethical reasons, perhaps you choose not to eat animal products, which leads to severe deficiencies, one of them being B12. So in this specific study, it showed that in the UK, about just under 40% of people are vegans between the ages of 25 and 34. It's a very conscious movement among young people to be very aware of the quality of nutrients that they're taking in. And what we realize in South Africa is, the B12 deficiency rate is very, very high. Probably because we eat a very processed, refined carbohydrate diet. We're very stressed, which depletes B12. We have poor gut health because of over antibiotic use, poor diet, all leading to poor assimilation of nutrients through our food. So we have also in South Africa a very high rate of B12 deficiency.
Mm-hmm. Now, having mentioned that we have a high rate of vitamin B12 deficiency, what health complications can this cause?
Sure. If anybody has experienced extreme fatigue, despite, a good night's sleep, you just constantly feel fatigued, that is a B12 deficiency. It's very, very... it affects your energy and it affects your cognitive function. It very much affects your memory and ability to focus. In severe cases, there's a risk of dementia, and their very recent study found that low B12 levels may lead to brain shrinkage due to the loss of brain cells. So it seems that B12 is fundamental in brain health and in your central nervous system specifically. If you are a very stressed person, you are probably depleted in B12 as well.
Mm-hmm. And it appears that more young people are at risk of vitamin B12 deficiency than older people. Now, how does this challenge the scientific evidence?
So young people are not eating animal products. You cannot produce B12 naturally in the body. You have to consume animal products. And there's very few plant products in the world that contain enough B12. So that's why people will have to supplement B12. Vegans and vegetarians would need to supplement B12.
Mm-hmm. And how can we ensure that we then get enough vitamins in our diet?
You have to ensure that you're eating a nutrient-dense whole food diet, that you've got good gut health, that you have a natural lifestyle. You look at the morning sunlight, you get natural vitamin D levels through the sun, that you eat a diet that is in season, meaning that what grows in specific times of the year is what you eat. So you get diversity. Plant diversity is really important. And then eating as close to nature as possible. That's really the key is if you're eating 80% whole food nutrition, you're 80% there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So just to recap, whatever grows in your area, whatever is in season, that's what you should be eating, and also try and eat, animal products as well. And I'm sure that will help with maintaining the vitamin B12. Now, there's a question that's come through from one of our listeners. It says that your esteemed guest has mentioned maintaining gut health on more than one occasion. How can one maintain gut health, and what can your guest recommend to clean the gut? I hope I just use it. Well, that's a question that's come through.
Okay, so it's very important to reduce the utilization of antibiotics and any specific drug that affects gut health. So, if you are on a cocktail of medication, be sure that you're taking probiotics, that you're having kefir, fermented foods. Traditionally, cultures, you would ferment foods like cabbage and drink sour milk or kefir, or, to ensure the intake of probiotics. It's very important to when you have a baby to try and have a natural birth, because you actually get the best inoculation through the vaginal birth canal as the baby is being born. So this is very important. If you have a C-section, there's ways of doing certain swabs to introduce the bacteria. To walk in nature, to walk barefoot in nature is a very good way, and just to be in nature to also inoculate your gut. They say touching stones is a very good way to get probiotics in. And the more refined processed sugar you have and processed food in general, the poorer your gut health.
So stay away from processed food.
100%. For all illnesses, for all diseases, food is medicine, and just eat as close to nature as possible.
Now, can supplements help? And if you can tell me yes, then what supplements would you recommend?
So I really like B12 spray. There's a product I use a lot in South Africa. It's called Better You B12. It's a boost. So you spray it in your mouth, and it's absorbed directly into the bloodstream. And why I like it is I notice more and more people are taking supplements and they're not absorbing the supplements well. Because of, if you're somebody who has poor gut health, who's on medication, that has a chronic illness, even if you're just someone who bloats after a meal, it means that you've got an unhappy gut. So I liked sublingual sprays. So Better You B12 spray is very good. I also like spirulina. I find spirulina is a nutrient-dense whole food, and it ensures that you get covered for a lot of nutrients. They actually gave spirulina to astronauts, and they can survive on just spirulina in space. If you look up the NASA research with spirulina, it's very interesting. So that's how nutrient-rich it is. So if someone that doesn't have a lot of vegetables and fruits, I would advise to take something like spirulina. And it's an algae, so it is plant-based and vegan-friendly. And that has some B12 in it as well. But I would recommend that if you're feeling fatigued and overwhelmed, you feel like your memory, your cognitive function, you haven't got that energy that you feel that you need, you're probably B12 depleted, you can get checked, and then it's easy to rectify. So the sublingual spray, the B12 boost, you can go, but unfortunately you need a script for a B12 injection. And otherwise just start eating some animal products if you are not, for ethical reasons, vegan or vegetarian. Go for regenerative farming, good quality animal products.
And how often can one have the B12 boost?
Every day.
Every day. I like that.
Yeah. Every day. You just spray it in your mouth.
Okay. If you want to find out more about health and nutrition, can you direct us to any websites or where we can find out more about health and nutrition?
So I've got an Instagram page, BDA Nutrition, and I have a lot of free information. I'm very passionate about women's health, children's health, all, the latest nutritional information, and I've got a website, vdanutrition.com, and all my resources are for free, so it's a passion project of mine. And I think it's very important to, any supplement you take, to do your research. So go to Better You, BETTERU, and look at, the B12 boost and the science behind it, and educate and empower yourself. So it's not only from me, but it's something that with all supplements that you find what works for you and understand how it works.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Vanessa Ascencao, thank you for joining me on the program this morning and for the valuable information that you've shared with us. Enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend. All the best to you. Thank you so much.
And you too. Thank you so much.
We spoke to Vanessa Ascencao, and she is a nutritional consultant and health and wellness expert, and she spoke to us about the vitamin B12 deficiency and how we can overcome such deficiency.